The People's National Congress Reforms Executive Member and former Member of Parliament Mervyn Williams is questioning the rationale behind a plea issued by some Indigenous leaders at the 2022 National Toshaos Council Conference to the Ali-led government for its aid in resolving the ongoing Chinese landing dispute. Williams related to Nightly News via telephone on Wednesday that the reality is that government is not oblivious to what the dispute entails, since many Indigenous leaders have been vocal about how it affects their human rights and livelihoods for decades.
For the administration to wait for a conference to say, look, I am uncomfortable with some of the things that are happening there and I'll perhaps pay a visit, adds insult to injury.
He underscored that while collective representation among Indigenous leaders is crucial to bringing closure to the problem, the current regime is deliberately causing division among them along the political lines.
Painting red villages and green villages, attending to the interests of people who live in red villages and ignoring the interests of the people who live in green villages as they categorize them.
He advanced that as a result of government's influence on the village leaders, some of them are very cautious about raising issues that would asperse the administration. Williams called on leaders to break themselves from the proverbial shackles and realize that this is not just a Chinese landing issue, rather it is an Indigenous people's issue which necessitates strong advocacy and to be treated as priority.
There is absolute need for the leaders to come together on this issue and in one voice say to the government, it is that action which you took in 1995 that has created the monster that is on the backs of the people in Chinese landing. And you need, as a government, to fix the problem which you created.
In relation to actions government can take to address the issue, Williams highlighted that the first step is to mobilize relevant state agencies, including the Guyana Police Force, to enter the affected community and enforce sections of the Amerindian Act.
What is the law that you require to enforce police? It is simply Section 5 of the Amerindian Act, which says that in order to visit a village, one must seek and acquire the permission of the village council. So it means that whomever is in that village that the village council says is there without their permission, is there without their approval, every such person should be evicted from the village.
Businessman Wayne Vera in 1995 purchased prospecting permits to acres of lands located in Chinese Landing, Region 1, reportedly without the village council's knowledge, through an auction sale initiated by the Guyana Geology and Mines Commission. However, the village of Chinese Landing received titles for the lands under the Amerindian Act in 1976. The land dispute was placed before the Caribbean Court of Justice in 2010. Upon review of the act, the CCJ determined that the minister responsible for the Mining Act could not make regulations under that law with a view of aiding or enforcing the requirements of another law, the Amerindian Act. As a result, Vera retained his mining concession for the land. In 2019, a Guyana Geology and Mines Commission GGMC team, along with armed police officers, descended on Chinese Landing without the residents' knowledge and destroyed mining camps that were set up by villagers who were involved in mining operations. The villages Toshao and Fernandes told media operatives that the destruction of mining camps had left the village in a state of despair, since mining is a significant source of income for the residents. There are 11 licensed Indigenous miners in the community. Timeka Rodney reporting for the HGP Nightly News.